Hello, I'm Glenn Dyer, and welcome to A Dyer-Situation. I'm here today with my good friend Rob Bergman.
Hello.
And we are about to see Tim Burton's Frankenweenie. What do you think the movie's gonna be like?
Well, I'm expecting to like enough. I have been looking forward to this. Okay, so I think I might as well say my opinion of the original short film. I like the original short. It's cute, creative, music and acting aren't too bad, but once the neighbors get involved, it does become an idiot plot with some plot holes. I'm guessing some scenes were deleted or something. That's the best explanation, but yeah, I like the original short film, so I'm expecting to like the new one. Maybe it'll have less plot holes, hopefully, but I wouldn't be too surprised if the ways they expand the story aren't necessarily needed. Because the original just sticks to boy brings his dog back to life. It just sticks to the basic premise of that. Anything else to say?
Personally, I think the movie's gonna tank. I pretty much have the exact opposite opinion on him on everything. I thought the original was terrible. I admit it did get worse when the neighbors were introduced, but it was pretty bad to begin with as well. I just really hated it, especially the very end. The very end of it pissed me off. So I'm expecting this thing to be even worse and longer. Well, I don't really think that should be unexpected. I mean, you know, if the best name you can come up with for your movie is Frankenweenie...
When it's not even a dachshund!
Yeah, Frankenweenie...
It's a terrier, not a dachshund.
Then you've got a problem, you see? You have a problem. So, that's my thought.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna suck.
And I'm kind of wondering if, throughout the movie, I'm going to be making any other comparisons to this year's other stop-motion comedy horror film, Paranorman, which I liked. Oh yeah, something else I'm commenting on, something I am kind of worried about is the Igor kid. I mean, I'm hoping it'll be like Paranorman, where you have this sort of bad best friend character, and I was worried about him. He turned out alright. Hopefully it'll be the same with this Igor kid, except for the thing that, from what I've seen of the trailers so far, which give away too much, like that's anything new, the Igor kid doesn't seem all that likable. Hopefully I'll be proven wrong. Is that
I
right?
think you'll be proven correct on that, though.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea, it's just from what I've seen, it looks like he's the one that starts all the trouble. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out, I guess.
Yeah. But that's how our opinions stand. We'll be getting back to you in a few hours our time to let you know how it turned out.
Okay, so I
Ciao.
guess that's it. Bye.
That was an improvement.
Yeah, we're back. Okay, I'm just gonna say now, remember how I said that I might be making Paranorman comparisons? I'm gonna get them out of the way now because they don't take up that much. One, the only times in the movie where I was thinking about Paranorman was... I am not thinking about Paranorman! Otherwise, I can't really compare the two because Paranorman is its own original story and Frankenweenie is based on a short from the 80s. Also, while this wasn't as boundary-pushing as Paranorman was, there were a couple things with some of the animals later on in the movie that were relatively boundary-pushing for a Disney movie. I think that's all I got with Paranorman comparisons.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Let me get this out of the way. I do like it better than the short. I think they improved on...
Yeah, they really improved it.
They improved on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, like, in the original one, like, with Sparky, you know, we kind of know him a little, like, he's in that little film that the kid make, and then he just dies.
Yeah, that... Actually, having 90 minutes instead of 30 really helped the film, because they get to do more with it than they can in 30 minutes.
Yeah, you know, there's more character development.
Yeah, like, it takes... Sparky doesn't die right off. It gets in a little.
Yeah, you start to actually, like, see why he loves the dog so much. You start to see that it is his only friend, and it's the only person he really consoles with.
Yeah, kind of interesting they gave him the no friends thing, because in the original he has, a few friends.
Yeah, in this one he's kind of like a loner and stuff.
Yeah. Actually, like, what leads to Sparky's death in this version, how they get to that, from what I saw at the exhibit in California Adventure, I saw that coming, but I didn't think but it turned out kind of differently than I expected. I won't say how exactly, but if you've seen Chicken Little from 05, you might get an idea of what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Like, everything up to there is pretty good. Like, the basic storyline worked pretty well, but then, like, towards the end is when it started to fall apart, in my,
how do you mean exactly?
My opinion. Well, like,
does it have anything to do with what happens to the animals later on?
Yes, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, they start introducing plot points, like...
Does it have to do... Let me guess, not explain?
Not that. They start introducing plot points like other animals are being brought to life, but apparently they're being brought to life with bad
we're not
ways.
Spoiling anything, it was in the trailers.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the science magic thing behind it.
Yeah, that was kind of weird how... Basically, emotion and science are related.
Yeah, like, if you do it for good reasons, good things will happen, but if you do it for bad reasons, bad things
what's weird is that they explain it, like, kind of somewhat near the halfway point that if you do it with passion, it'll turn out nicely. If you don't do it, like, just to get it over with, it won't turn out as well. It'll be kind of half-assed. I get what they're... Something I found interesting with how the other experiments turn out later is that I think I know what they were getting at. Like, those were more corrupt, so that's probably why they didn't turn out as well. They never actually explained that straight out. I'm not sure if that was either smart for not spoon feeding, or if they might have needed to explain that a little. I'm a little unsure of that.
Also, like as I said, like, all these plot points are happening. Like, these animals are coming to life, but they're all evil and big and scary looking. And I'm like, wow, this could lead to a pretty climatic battle. It really doesn't.
You're kind of right.
It's kind of underwhelming. Like,
now that you mention it, they really all they do is just deal with it. Like, they
just deal with each problem, like, at a time, and then one is left, and, you know...
Yes, there's all this happening now. Oh, is that? Oh, okay, we'll try that. Oh, there's that. Okay, that.
Yeah, it was really anticlimactic. I was disappointed in that.
Yeah.
I
actually never thought of that till right now, so I guess it didn't affect me too much.
I noticed it, though. It was pretty evident to me.
So what exactly was your reaction to the reasoning behind your reaction to the turtle? Because you were like, no.
Well, okay. This might be a minor spoiler, but I doubt it. Like, one of the main characters is this Japanese guy. And, I'm probably not alone on this. It may be a racist character.
Yeah, it might be a little.
Even in the audience, I could hear some people behind us, like, whenever they hear it, they just say racist. You know, like,
I did not hear that.
I could hear them saying that behind us.
Oh, come on.
Well, the thing is, like, you know how in South Park, kind of, like, they have, like, when they have, like, Japanese characters, they talk a certain way? That's the kind of way he was talking. Like, you know, like, going into the French trip, it's, like, really stereotypical. And, well, he brings his turtle back, this turtle back to life, like, just by striking with lightning, you know, but the thing is, because he did it with evilness, it becomes...
Presumably.
It becomes, like, big evil, and it basically becomes Godzilla, and that just made me groan, because, oh boy, because this is really pushing the boundaries. I am not sure if that's racist or not, but it seems a little racist.
Yeah, I can see that.
Honestly, I was waiting for somebody to just, like, shout, like, turtle or something, like, you know, the way they sometimes go, Godzilla, or something like that, you know.
Torjira.
You know.
Yeah, so you seem to rather enjoy the science teacher in the movie.
Oh, yeah, the science teacher, like, they kind of made him a little like Vincent Price.
Yeah, with the voice of Bela Lugosi or something.
Yeah, he was really freaking
Yeah, because in the original film, he's just some sort of, like, drab guy. The children react to a dead frog bite. Ew! It's like, I'm glad to see we all have scientific minds. I do kind of enjoy that, but I like how they expanded him for the movie, how they reinvented him.
And especially since it makes more sense, the unveiling of the frog. And the other one, it seemed like he just had it under his desk. You know, in this one, it was kind of under a cloth, which made more sense.
Yeah, he's really eccentric in this version.
Yeah, he's eccentric and stuff. Like, they even kick him out because they're afraid of him, which, I don't know, that was kind of a weird plot point there.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to be very pointed, because nothing really happened because of that.
Yeah, you're right.
So, that's
something I found interesting is that the large woman neighbor was really downplayed in this film. I mean, I love her in the movie, but just because she's so crazy, even though she is a walking plot hole. And then she's just, like, there for a few scenes, has a few lines.
Yeah, and, yeah, what I'm a little glad for, mostly because of the whole plot hole thing, but...
Yeah, because I will say that, yeah, townspeople kind of are idiots in this one, but it's not in the way that it makes an idiot plot. It's more like just fear of science. More like that.
Yeah. It's just, like, I don't know, it's one of those, like, 50s, like, science is evil.
Yeah, and while we're on this sort of, like, character reactions thing, something I find is that I think the reactions of Victor and his parents to, like, Sparky dying and being reanimated, they seemed a bit more realistic in this film, because...
Yeah, I agree.
They seem to take a...
In the old one, they're just kind of like, oh, what a problem, oh. But in this one, like, they're literally like, oh, whoa,
yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, like, they actually do kind of explain that implications, because in the original, the dad says, like, the implications of this thing, and in the new version, he actually says, we're crossing the realm between life and death.
Yeah, you know, it brings it more into reality and stuff, but, you know, what I'm wondering with, like, the whole bringing him to life thing, like, when Victor does it, he has all this machinery, like gathering electricity.
By the way, that actually looks so much better in stop motion than it did in live action.
Yeah, it did. In live action, it looked like he just randomly had all this, like, instruments there, and this, it actually does look kind of like he put it together himself, almost.
I just meant, like, how it looked all animated and whatnot.
Yeah.
It just looked better.
Yeah. Like, he has all these, like, instruments, which aren't even hooked up to the dog, so I'm not sure what they were doing. But when everyone else was bringing their stuff to life, they just hook it up to, like, something in the sky, zap it with lightning, boom, it's alive.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
Yeah, good thing they all had those cables.
I know, everyone just happens to have cables lying around.
Yeah.
Easily accessible.
Yeah. Hey, something we can say now that the final scene in the movie, it's the same as the original, except the way they play it a little differently in this version. It actually reminded me of Romeo and Juliet, which for me, it would have been very interesting if they didn't go that route considering how they were playing it, but I still feel that it works. That's just me, though.
Yeah, I don't know. The ending seemed a little dark.
I mean the very couple minutes, you know what I mean?
Oh,
give it away for those who haven't seen it. Like, after that moment that I'm kind of surprised they got away with in a Disney movie.
It's basically one of those dark scenes, like at the very, very end. Kind of one of those dark moments, and then something happy happens at the very end, and you're all like, yay. But, you know, it's one of those things where you're like, you know, wouldn't it have been better without the happy scene?
Yeah, the the big difference is how they play it out, because in this version they draw out the sadness a little more. In the original, it goes a bit more straight to the happy moment.
Yeah. I think I would have preferred if they just stuck with the sadness, you know. Sometimes you need to let things go, you gotta move on with your life, you can't just mope over one thing, but no, everything's fine, you don't need to worry about that.
It still kind of worked, but...
Yeah.
Wait, just getting this out there right now, but if there's no reason to bring it up later, the mayor character, I swear he was the guy from Rear Window.
Rear Window?
Yeah, you know, the guy who killed his wife. Maybe it's just because at the beginning, your dog got in my flower bed. It looked kind of like him too. I don't
know. He was kind of reminded me more of like what's his name? Like the guy from Monsters Inc., the spider boss guy.
Waternoose.
Yeah, he reminded me more of him.
Oh yeah. I totally see. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I actually did like that character. Like, it's somebody new that they introduced. Like, he's the mayor and he's all, like, obviously evil looking.
Yeah, I'm guessing he was supposed to be like that father from the original one.
Yeah, I was just like, well, this guy's pretty funny, you know. And they had like a bunch of shots of him in the start and stuff, and I was like, okay, maybe he's gonna be like a main character, but really, he's not. They kind of like up him up at the start, and then they just kind of let him like go down a little. You know?
Yeah, and as for my concerns with that Igor kid, he ended up being okay, I guess. Some of his motivations were a little weird. It was weird. He seemed to slip from the accent at times. It seemed to slip like, but as for the whole plot expansion thing with the extra experiments thing, they actually played it well. It didn't come off as just, oh, we have 90 minutes, we need to fill the time. The way they tied it in with the story worked, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anything else? Do you have anything else to say? I mean, I still got a thing or two, but do you?
Well, that's basically like when I first saw the advertisements for this, you know, like, but basically the way it was advertised was kind of like just a kid's like, oh no, my dog's dead, I better bring him back to life, and then like, you know, he doesn't come back to life, so he's all sad, and then the tail starts wiggling. I was like, okay, end the commercial here, end the commercial here. It doesn't end there.
Yeah,
of course. It just shows the dog walking around scaring people, and I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be terrible. Yeah,
they ended up playing that better than in the original story.
They ended up playing that far better. Yeah. I think this was advertised terribly. Whoever advertised this movie should be fired.
Yeah, for me it's probably just bitterness over the whole giving away too much thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're telling me? They just ended it there. That would have made it so much better.
Yeah.
Like, you would have been like, whoa, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because then it'll keep you guessing as to how they did. I mean, I already knew from reading online earlier in the process, before seeing trailers, how they would expand it, but still, I'm not the general public. General public isn't always on the internet reading things. They just look at porn. Kidding. Somewhat. Back on track.
Just me. Alright, so you have some other things?
Yeah, something I really liked, it was kind of underplayed. I only really caught it maybe at least 3 times, but the way some of the transitions were done, like we see a reel of film spinning, and then it becomes the wheel on a bike, or a scene where Victor was sad after Sparky's died. We see him sitting in the attic. Background changes so he's sitting in his bedroom. Background changes, he's sitting at the breakfast table. Background changes, he's sitting in the car, and background changes, he's in his seat at school. Or a bit where it goes into a character's wailing mouth and it becomes a siren. Were they watching that Roger Rabbit short?
I don't know.
Nah,
you probably won't get what we're talking about there.
No. And if you do, you're awesome.
Yes, you are.
Was that all I had?
I had one more thing to say.
Go on.
We watched it in 3D this time, but I thought the 3D really wasn't utilized to its full potential. Like, there was one moment I can think of where it was used well. Like, there was this cat,
the cat
that just kind of like, it was sitting on Tombstone, like its face almost seemed to come out of the screen. That kind of worked really well, but everything else, it didn't even seem like it was in 3D. Like, it was like very downplayed.
Yeah. Otherwise, I tend to base 3D on how 3-dimensional it actually is. This one seemed to turn out okay enough for me. Maybe it's just me.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything else before we conclude?
I do admit, now that I think back, a couple of the characters do feel a little bit extra, like a little bit of excess. Like Elsa, she didn't really add that much to it.
Yeah. Except for poor cat.
Yeah.
I felt really sorry for her cat.
Yeah, especially with how it is at the beginning of the movie and what ends up happening with it.
I know. I was like, oh, poor cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't really go for the sadness on the cat. We have to go for the sadness on dog, you know?
Yeah.
But, admittedly, we got to know the dog a lot more, but still, I liked
still, that was a cat. It was a little kitty.
It was a nice little cat. Like, it didn't do anything wrong. Why is
it
it
a nice little prophetic cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of that prophet thing, I'm not sure if that was funny or a little lowbrow.
It's almost pointless.
Well, it does have the whole, like, something's gonna happen, like, which it does.
Yeah.
So it works in that respect.
Mm.
So,
Anything else?
not necessarily I can think about the top of my head. I mean, I guess the animation turned out nicely.
Oh yeah.
Although
animation.
with the parents, it did kind of look like they were always smiling. Maybe it's just
yeah,
the way
even
their
in
head.
dark moments.
Yeah,
I
because
get
Victor
because
because Victor didn't always look like he was smiling. By the way, it kind of means something when a stop motion puppet is more expressive than a human.
Yeah.
Although I do admit when Sparky dies, it did. Maybe it's just the way his face looked, but the way it came off in the newer version was a tiny bit hard to take seriously near the end of it. It wasn't totally killed, but his face did get a little hard to take seriously, just the way it was animated.
My favorite parts of that is basically the tears. Like, I thought
the tears were really good.
The tears look amazing.
Yeah.
Like, they actually look like water's coming out of their eyes. It looks great.
Yeah.
That's like my big thumbs up.
Yeah, that was really good. I guess I liked some ways how similarities with the original, like the point of view from Sparky when he dies, the clock and during the creation scene ending on 9, or the large woman neighbor near the end shouting, "Give it more juice!" That was nice. Yeah.
Well, I personally hate the old one, so I don't care.
Yeah, I like the old one enough for what it is, even though it does have an idiot plot, but the 90 minutes, having another hour really helped the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And the poodle was executed way better in this movie.
Yeah, executed far earlier and made more sense.
Yeah, even though no one noticed the streaks.
Yeah, she got the streaks like pretty early on, but nobody notices.
Yeah, because in the original she just has the streaks already, so I guess the streaks element does kind of work in there, considering how, like, it's just a gag in the original. Here it's just something happens, nobody notices it. The black poodle now is these white Sprite or Frankenstein streaks, nobody notices that.
Yeah. I'm gonna add that one to suspension of disbelief.
I guess, yeah.
But, same thing with just bringing animals to life by striking them with lightning.
Random nitpick, it was pretty easy to tell that the mom and the gym teacher were the same voice actor. Everyone else, the differentiation was pretty good, but those two characters, they were totally the same person. Just weird because the third character that actress does sounded different. But whatever, it was still a funny character, that gym teacher.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn from... It's gonna be judged by someone who's not insane! Me! Yeah, you got a good laugh at that.
Yeah, that was a good one. But, so I think this is dragging on a little.
Yeah, it is.
So, without further much ado, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching A Dyer-Situation. That's my thing.
Aww.